Entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey, authenticity. It's not a linear path. Well, you're growing at the same time, you're learning at the same time, you as a founder.
Do you think you were born as an entrepreneur or environmentally you became one?
Why not someone else? And it's almost like once you break down, I feel like those internal barriers,
Your purpose is not about you because your purpose is bigger than you.
you just took things a layer deeper that I didn't expect we'd go to, but I'm going to share something with you. I was married to.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, David.
Welcome.
Thank
So you've been following me online for some time now, and I really appreciate your support.
you. Aw,
Like you direct message me, you add the comments, you're really following the journey. What has resonated with you from my posting and, putting myself out there from an entrepreneurial perspective and a journey perspective?
oh, what a great place to start. Like one word that comes to my heart and mind is authenticity. Like I think we naturally stumbled into each other's networks, and what you're doing, I think, especially in the Ottawa ecosystem, is basically, breaking down the barriers to what inspires other people to take that leap and take that step. Even the name of this podcast, Laid Off to Eight Figures, it's demystifying, if any of us have gone through that, which actually I have too, being laid off and the emotional journey, and then fast forwarding to a place where you've started something from just your gut feeling or whatever you think is needed, and following through with that is incredibly inspiring. And I'm sure I'm not alone. So I really appreciate, just being able to get that inspiration from other people around us. It's a blessing.
Do you think our culture, we have to break down the barriers for people to be okay with success and failure and the different emotions that come with entrepreneurship?
Hmm. It's funny you ask that. I actually think entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey. Like I feel like you're breaking down barriers in yourself
Mm.
before you're even breaking them down outside of yourself. Like even myself asking, is this something I can do? Is it something I should do? Why me? Why not someone else? And it's almost like once you break down, I feel like those internal barriers, at least in my case, and I don't know if this resonates with
It resonates with me
really,
completely. Yeah.
like once you break down those internal barriers, nothing can actually stand in your way.
Yeah.
Like you really, once you have your vision and you really lock into it, it just becomes a step by step spiritual journey, like truly, because you're growing at the same time, you're learning at the same time, you're um, embedding in a very generous ecosystem. Like I said, your page, your LinkedIn page, and us connecting. Like again, sitting here today, nobody could have predicted that.
Mm.
Just by the connection and seeing somebody else in their strength, it really truly inspires you to say, okay, yeah, he's a step ahead of me or she's a step ahead of me, and that brings out my own inspiration. So
And it probably breaks down barriers for yourself to come on a podcast and communicate your journey and, put yourself out there from a vulnerability perspective, authenticity perspective that then in turn connects with so many other people. And then we talked about it before, but if it can inspire one more, especially young entrepreneur to start it,
yeah.
I think this conversation is so worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And funny you say, because my son is stepping into a singing career
Mm.
and he inspires me. He's more than half my age. And I think that inspiration can come from many places. But you're right. It's seeing him and his authenticity inspires me. Seeing you and your authenticity inspires me. And it's breaking down age groups, genres, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, it's somebody stepping into their vision for their life and helping people along the way. So yeah,
And in regards to your journey, so are you born and raised in Ottawa?
actually born in Lebanon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but came here when I was really young. So my parents came over in the mid 60s. Dad started his first grocery store in Sudbury, so that's where we landed. My oldest brother was born there. Then we moved to Ottawa a short time after. My second oldest brother was born there. And then the hippie culture started up. Uh, Drug culture was starting up. So my parents shipped us all back. I wasn't born yet,
Mm.
and went back to Lebanon. And that's actually when the war was starting to brew. So I was born just before that. And then when things started heating up, they packed up and came back, and we've been here ever since.
Wow.
Mm,
So, wow.
yeah.
And then when they came here, what was their livelihood? Did they buy property, construction? What was their
Yeah, typical Lebanese in Ottawa, either a restaurant or a
Italian?
grocery
Yeah.
store. So in our case, it was a grocery store, and Dad really started it from scratch. Um, what I gain inspiration from truly is my parents' journey.
Yeah.
Like I just look at that and I'm like, Dad had a helping hand. He had an aunt here who sponsored him to come over. He worked with her, stayed with her. She had a store, and she lent him the money to buy the store from her, and he got it, paid her right back. And actually, David, this is truly again like the entrepreneur's journey, because I learned only very recently that my dad ended up doing that for someone else who came over, and and in our extended family. And it's not the things you normally talk about around the kitchen table, they just kind of come up. And so when you look at that journey and really what my parents built from the ground up, like, I look at branding and I look at marketing and I look back at what mom and dad did to ground me. All they did was just show who they are, and people trusted them.
Mm.
And their entire business was built on that. So, yeah, Mel's Grocery and Variety in the west end of Ottawa was pretty around for a good 40 years, and I learned a lot there, and really that paint my stripes today for how I approach life and entrepreneurship and my morals, how I treat people. It's embedded deeply in me. The family business ethos and culture runs everything I do. It really does.
Do you think you were born as an entrepreneur from or environmentally you became one?
Yeah, that's so funny because when we had the store, I'd be like, Dad, we could open up this over here
Uh,
if we'd see something. So I think there's always been some kind of itch there. I don't know
mm,
what it is. Like I was probably that kid in school who was daydreaming a little
mm,
and always looking at the next thing,
mm,
which can be healthy, maybe
yeah.
not sometimes. But I think it's definitely grown though. I think maybe you have that seed and then it just grows in you over time.
And how about your siblings?
Yeah, they're similar, I'd say. We've all followed the path of getting the 9 to 5 job,
Mm.
just by virtue of graduating school and doing the things that you're supposed to do. But I think we all have a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit for sure.
And so your dad opened or your parents opened a grocery store. Did your mom work or she was kind of supporting the
That's a great question, because it's often it was literally a system. So it was 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Dad would go, and I'd actually wake up and watch him shave at
Mm,
like 5 a.m. and go to the national grocer with him. He'd pick up all the groceries, because at that time it was this corner store, but we had fruit and vegetables, and we had a section for breakers and glue and all sorts of like just Mel's Grocery and Variety. So he'd start the day at 7 a.m. He'd go all the way till 3 p.m. We'd get home from school. Mom would have dinner ready. She'd give dad a break at 4 p.m. And basically, he'd come home, try to nap while we were being kids horsing around, and barely get his nap in. And then he'd go back to the store until closing. So it was only until like I became able to close on my own till 11 p.m. So 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Yeah.
and you put that in perspective into now. I mean, like the sacrifice that they had to go through to give us a better life is like so admirable.
I really I can't tell you. I think and then you fast forward and you see, the aches and the pains, and it really makes you as the next generation want to say I want to make it better for my kids too. And that's obviously what they came to this country thinking. And you're right, you can't fathom working from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. anywhere, as one person.
But do you think it also hinders them a little bit too? Um, you needing to wake up at 7 o'clock and you needing or earlier, also closing out the shop, also, you know,
Yeah.
knowing your dad is tired and you're horsing around, but you're still helping in
Yeah.
some capacity,
Yeah.
you've seen that shaped you.
It really did. It really did.
It
Um,
and I just like I know I'm nervous for my kids, the next generation, whatnot. Of I want them to see the sacrifice, but not feel it. But I also want them to feel it because that's how they'll shape them too.
that's so true.
And I think about this actually a lot
Yeah.
because I have two young kids that I want the best for them, but I don't want to give them everything.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It's a delicate balance because you fast forward to my kids who are a bit older, and I actually think what grounds them. So let's say you and I, we grew up with that. We know
Yeah,
our parents worked really hard, physically hard,
yeah,
laboring. Um, I think it's the moral compass. Like I just think the a lot of just watching my parents in action is what grounded me
mm.
and just, always kept me humble, always kept me understanding the reality of hard work. And so I think even if they're not exposed to the same thing, at the end of the day, it's just that values and morals that glue it, I think, for our kids. Yeah.
And was it also Catholic? Culturally, like, did that help as well from a value perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're yeah, Christian values, it drives my business. I mean,
Mm,
entrepreneurship is a spiritual endeavor and it's really about not keeping what God's giving you, but being in servitude to others. And
mhm,
that's what I've like truly grown up with. I think going to church was always tricky for us because dad or mom was always in
mhm.
the store, but we managed to here and there be able to go. I went to Bible school. Um, it's deep in our family, yeah, for sure, where I think it's the compass for us in every way. Yeah.
And you turned it into a compass for your business. Talk about your business and that journey.
Yeah, well, ironically, um, I actually so Simple Split is an app that helps co-parents track and split expenses. So started it. It's been, to be honest, it's been almost 8 years since I incorporated it. But when I, was going through the struggle of okay, two houses, I want to make it as easy as possible on my kids, and thinking that we have a divorce agreement now, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be in the agreement. It's going to work fine. I'm sure if anybody's going to listen to this who can relate to this, it's a whole other sphere of challenges where nothing, even though something's in the agreement, nothing is easy to manage. So it just became a lot of manual chasing, forgetting, um, losing receipts, and just, at the end of the day, tracking expenses for your kids when you're in two houses is not an easy thing. If you're in one house and you're married, sometimes there's joint accounts, it's easy. Not the case where this is concerned. So because it became such a problem for me, I really was thinking, God, I can't be the only one. Like there must be other people out there. So I'd go out and see what was out there to help me. And the thing that didn't totally fit my needs was there are apps out there, but they're all kind of like all things divorce. They're like custody and communication. They're for like super high conflict. They're mandated by the courts, some of them, calendars. And I didn't need all that. I just needed something to manage the finances. So I'm like Evernote or something like that. Nothing really hit it. Um, so I just started building it.
Nice.
Yeah. Got a developer, like found one through the local college and just started bootstrapping it, paying, what I could and slowly but surely just testing it and, testing it myself with friends, family. And then I had the good fortune of going into the Invest Ottawa incubator. And that was a great surging point because it gave me kind of a really nice structure and network with other founders and entrepreneurs. And a lot of the concepts that um, pretty well like run how the business is going to be delivered to customers going forward. But I got to say, like the lag time between like when I incorporated 7 or 8 years ago and today, I almost feel like it's a little bit of that building process where it's not a linear path. And why? Because well, you're growing at the same time, you're learning at the same time, you as a founder. but also like the product is evolving and you're seeing different ways that it can benefit people. So, for example, you know, having a shared piggy bank for kids where each parent can contribute and that sort of thing, and they can see their money grow. So as the product has evolved, as the journey's evolved, it's just been growing in the way that it can serve and in the vision. So yeah,
And what is the vision?
simple expense sharing made easy between co-parents. And along with that, financial autonomy and empowerment for kids. So typically like my sons will say, "Hey mom, can I get $100?" Or "Go to dad, can I get $100?" It's not actually a great place for a kid to be. It would be nice if there was sort of a place where just like their own piggy bank, they could go and in our virtual world it's truly there's no way to manage that across 2 households. So the idea is just make it a team effect for the kids so that they see
Mm.
from the get-go that, yeah, we're in 2 houses, nobody predicted this, least of whom me, but let's try to make it easy on them.
And then teach them responsibility and
Yeah,
teach them all the other stuff that goes in with being under one roof, I guess.
exactly, exactly.
And it's funny how you've you've taken an experience, your experience, you saw a problem, and now you fixed it.
Get in there.
Or getting there,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
wanting to fix it through your experience, and you can really talk that journey,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
How important is that in today's world while building a service or a product?
Honestly, it's everything. Like if you've gone through the actual experience, to me that's like, okay, great. You get it. However, going back to just being uh, honest about how you're building, I'm not the only person. So there's a myriad of other people who are going to be impacted. So the idea is, yes, I've experienced it, but most important is to hear from other people.
Mm,
Okay, what's going on with you? So I'll actually be sitting on Facebook groups or Reddit and see the problems, and I'm like, yep, 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 yep. Oh wow, I didn't think of that one. That's true. That could definitely find its way into the app and help people out. So it's really keeping that conversation open with people who are going to ultimately use it. Like honestly, I've said from the beginning, if I could just help one person with this, it would be worth the journey.
mm,
Like that's how really valuable it is to walk that journey and then to be blessed to be in a position to do something about it.
mm. And it resonates with me because I'm building an app right now, and your infrastructure could actually service roommates, service
Exactly.
so many different types of people.
Yes.
But you're niching into a specific need, and you know everything around, with research and other stuff around that journey
Yeah.
to target that person, because that tweak in product will resonate with that industry versus someone that has roommates or friendships or whatever,
Yeah.
that the app can actually do both,
Yeah.
but the marketing and the vision is different.
Yeah, it's really, really good of you to say that. So we're starting out with co-parents. That's always been the niche. And as I've gone through, I've said, but we'll probably start a stream for roommates. We'll
Mm,
probably start a stream for franchises. You could have businesses that have franchisees and they're basically trying to manage and keep track. So yes, it's definitely honoring that the co-parent um, market for sure. But there are so many other applications, and there are products out there. Again, like everyone knows, you can Venmo someone, or you could e-transfer, or you could use Splitwise. There's a lot of
mm,
common ones that are out there. You know, there are nuanced and specific ways that Simple Split serves co-parents that no other app is going to do. That's for certain. And I'm just excited to bring that to the market. Like I'm
And,
just excited for
and
people
I
to
think if
test it.
you add a community layer to that
Exactly.
and an education layer towards that, I
Yes.
think it would be hugely positive.
You should probably be on our board because this is exactly the direction. So,
Yeah,
as a solo founder, you
yeah,
probably feel like you're doing everything.
yeah.
And I am, but I tell you, there is an identity shift that happens when you go from marriage to divorce.
Mm,
And the identity shift is You didn't expect it. You were really identified with that
Yeah.
coupling, and who are you after, and how do you financially manage after, if during the marriage you were, he looked after everything or you looked after everything, you had a joint account, you didn't. How did things work inside the marriage? How are they going to work outside? And what kind of a new um how do you reformulate your identity for yourself and your kids? And in this co parent scenario, where, yes, finances are a big part of the equation, but there's also an identity factor. And I don't know how to explain that. It's sort of saying, okay, well, it's just me now. And I want to run things in the right way. And the other piece to the education that you mentioned in the community is the communication factor. So it can become messy. And the goal is that with that community, with the education, with that, who am I now and who am I becoming? What are like the habits? What are the things that I'm doing to lead my kids to success? It's all part of the ecosystem of the app.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you being brought up in a Christian household, I think is, I bet you divorce is a no-no. So, in regards to your identity, you questioning that and then seeing your kids, wanting your kids to have that life the way you did, and now not, but now this app could actually bring
Yeah.
that problem,
Yeah.
put that problem to rest.
You just took things a layer deeper that I didn't expect we'd go to, but I'm going to share something with you. I was married to the priest's son in our parish,
Mm,
and I had grown up in this church um, when it was at a different location in Ottawa. When we were kind of the forebearers and the starters of this church, and we moved and grew into a cathedral, and the added layer of that quote unquote failure is, yes, okay, this doesn't look good with what I've learned from the Bible. This doesn't feel right. Why is this happening? What did I do to get here? And what does this all mean? So the irony is that despite having married the priest's son, the divorce pulled me closer to God than I had ever been. And it's not like Simple Split came up like, okay, I'm going to, right away go and do a business. It was like literally just the pain of going through all of that. And then on top of it all, the financial stuff, like, oh my God, I hope nobody else is going through this. So, really, that identity piece of who am I in the marriage? Who am I outside of the marriage and as a child of God? And how do I repair this in a way that has me feeling spiritually whole again?
mm,
Um, so it's just ironic sometimes how God works in that no, nothing is totally planned in our lives, but it's always in our greatest good, and that's what I've discovered. Fast forwarding, 15 years now post divorce, um, that that relationship with God is really a direct string up and a direct line up, and the worst judgment we probably inflict on ourselves is our own.
100%.
Mm.
And was the app able to bridge some of it together,
Well,
or the concepts?
I think, do you mean some of the
Because
spiritual side of things?
more the because you need two people to partake in,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
you know, being a part of it so that your kids can get what is needed out of it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So it's designed in a way to say, all right, if I have to do this solo and the other parent has got wants nothing to do with it, okay, fine. So we've got a plan for me.
mm,
And if there's a co-parent that says, yeah, you know what, I'll try this out. Transparency, visibility makes sense. Maybe we can make this work. So there's just some co-parents that are going to be on board like 100% already and be like, thank God, like now we don't have to worry about this and that and texts and circular conversations. Others might be skeptical, but it's designed so that hopefully the value is seen and, you can onboard both parents, but it's designed to be such that you can run it on your own and still not have the other parent there if they don't want
And
to.
I do think, I don't know the stats around this, but less and less people are getting married, but having kids together as well, and having kind of two different bank accounts, two different everything. So I could see it also solving that potential problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you were asking about the vision. Like honestly, the vision is joint accounts for
Yeah.
two parent households
Yeah.
where it's the kid's future and financial future is pre-designed from the get-go. Nobody's thinking about it because you
Yeah.
come out of your lawyer meetings and experiences and you're pretty well broke at the end of all of that. Or at least, very you've got a good legal fund that's depleted. And then you start thinking, okay, so now future for the kids, like
Practicality of everything.
truly. And at that point, you're divorced, so you're not necessarily sitting there saying, okay, so shall we do the financial plan for the kids together now?
Right.
It just doesn't happen. And to me, that's the major gap. Even, does it even happen in intact families? And for the most part, yes, putting it to RESPs and so on.
Yeah.
But that destruction of, I won't say destruction of the family unit, of the marriage, and transitioning to a two-parent household,
Right.
it's it's a loss right now, and no, there's a gap there.
Yeah. And I went right to RESPs, the education fund. Like, it'd be pretty cool to have an integration with a bank, or
Exactly.
so one parent is, let's say it's $500 a month, 250 each, and then the
Exactly.
kid gets to have access to that
Yep.
while setting them up for success, just like if it was one unit.
David, that's exactly it. And the vision is we're not there yet, but to basically have them gamify
Mm-hmm.
their financial education and be able to
Hmm.
invest from a very young age. So as soon as they're able to understand, okay, here's what compounding is, here's how it works, here's what it'll look like when I'm
Nice.
20. Yeah. So
Nice. I'm actually a little off topic, but my wife's a grade 4 and 6 teacher, and I'm going to go in her class to talk financial literacy with them, because I think it's something that is so missed in this world right now. What an interest rate is, buying $1 million house. What does that mean? The bankers are going to tell you one thing to get you in the house.
yeah.
Parents are going to tell you one thing because that what was done 30 years ago is different than what's done now.
Yep.
So having something that they can see growing up, and it be a little bit of their identity,
Right.
your app, in
Right.
regards to like it grow with them.
Right.
I think with gamifying and education and community,
Yep.
I can definitely see.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
And you're so doing well to go after that age group because um my kids fast forward 21 and 19, literally they're like, and their friends, well, how are we ever going to afford a house? And so to give them that inspiration early and be able to see that, what kind of things they should be thinking about
Yeah.
planning. I mean, it's young, four and
Mhm.
six, grade 4 and 6, but that's the time to start.
Yeah. So in regards to the journey, you started 8 years ago. Um, Met Arlene Dickinson on the side. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, that was amazing. So, I mentioned the Invest Ottawa incubator. So, what was a great value there was going through your pitch and refining it, and really just identifying with the problem that you're solving and articulating it in a way that people can really absorb. And so, I had perfected the pitch at that point. And fast forward to COVID in 2019, I guess, and there was an app called Clubhouse. I don't know if you remember.
I
Uh,
do.
so you had to get invited in there. Somebody invited me in, and lo and behold, it's like all these thought leadership rooms, and you can go into various conversations. So one of them was a startup pitch room, and in there was Arlene Dickinson plus a few other. I don't know which dragons they were, but they were basically on a panel. So there were like hundreds of people in that room, and you have to get picked. So I raised my hand. to pitch. And of course, I'm thinking, what are the chances? I don't think I'm going to get picked. And
How many people were in the room just to
honestly, there
get
must have been like 1,000,
okay.
truly, because they'd have to turn people away. There was just hundreds, if not, I'd say 1,000. And so I get put the hand up and I get picked, and they put you kind of in this queue. So my son happened to be there. He was 16 at the time, and I'm like, Gabby, I got picked. I'm going to pitch Arlene Dickinson. He's like, what? Because we used to watch Dragon's Den when
Right.
they were like 10, 12. And, we're in the family room jumping up and down. He's holding me, jumping up and down. And he's like, Mom, play cool. Don't make like you're a fan. So, um, get picked, did the pitch, and I don't know, it was almost one of those things where like, okay, I'm supposed to be here right now. I'm not nervous. I'm just going to say it. And it came out so naturally. And Arlene Dickinson goes, Nancy, don't change a thing about your pitch. It's one of the best pitches I've ever heard. I wish I had your app when I was going through my divorce. And here I am thinking, okay, can I like did I just hear those words? This is amazing. It's like someone just validated my idea, and it's not just any someone,
Mm,
it's a dragon, it's Arlene Dickinson.
mm,
So, that happened, and I'm also sitting there going, "Well, I wish I could have been there during your divorce and had given you this app."
mm,
But she asked me a few follow-up questions, like, what's your long-term value, like just some of the metrics for a mobile app and how things are going. I told her we're pre-revenue, we're building the app, we have a prototype. She said, "Come back when you have the app, when you have customers, come back." Yeah.
Are you gonna go back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait, honestly. If
Th
only to just, get a testimonial or
yeah.
ask her to try it or whatnot. But yeah, I definitely would.
It's fun.
And oh, sorry. And in that room, um, were, or actually, fast forward, are my current partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, putting yourself out there, I mean, I can't tell you how important it is to we talk about a growth mindset a little bit, but no one pushed you to be in Clubhouse.
Yeah.
No one pushed you to raise your hand. No one pushed you to say the speech or say the pitch. No one you didn't know what was gonna happen before, after, in between. Okay, maybe you didn't land the dragon, quote unquote, yet. I'm sure you'll land her eventually. But now you have partners, and tell me where the app is now.
Yeah. Well, we've just rebranded. We're going to be revamping our website almost as we speak, so very soon. Um, we're building the app. So the prototype, we have what's called low fidelity prototype. So basically the pictures of what the app's going to look like. Building that hopefully by April, if not March. And really just starting to get additional traction of eyes on it, of potential investors in the fintech ecosystem. And yeah, in parallel, I'm launching the community and educational side of things. So I really just want to give people that. It's called financial power shift. It's
Mm,
really just taking the financial mindset outside of divorce. If you're feeling like depleted, emotionally drained, broke, how can we pivot from that identity into the new post divorce identity? And don't even call it post divorce, just here's me in my next chapter. What does that look like? How can I equip people through that course with the tools, resources, and just mindset to shift out fast and not stay there? Yeah, because it's easy to stay there. It can be easy to stay there.
and while you're talking about that, my business mind is going, and it's not from a monetary perspective, but from a growth perspective. You have to write a book.
Oh,
I think that from a community perspective, I think you writing your journey and the steps of that journey for that community, I think would be incredible.
wow. I don't even want to say this out loud because it is on my heart and it
Okay.
has been for a long
Okay.
time. Um, and I appreciate you saying that because that would be a blessing
Yeah.
if anyone's journey can, help someone else along the way to pivot out. of a not good place, that's a blessing.
And I also, you know, I think there's two aspects of building a community and building an app. What are you focusing on both? Or are you taking the community and going with it and, getting a tech founder to take the app to the next level? Because
Yeah.
also knowing your strengths and weaknesses,
Mhm.
because I'm going through it right now and building an app, a technical app,
Yeah.
even AI and everything that's out there, it's streamlining it.
Yeah.
You still need to be so technical
Yeah.
to understand it, or else money can be flown out the door because you just don't know it.
So true. You know, I think what you just nailed it. So let everybody run their lane, but also that vision and inspiration
Is
is
you.
still so key.
Yeah.
Like, for example, um, the app is sort of the transactional part. The app is like, oh my God, this is so easy. I wish I had this. This is the magic button. The relational part is the community and the education and the ecosystem. And yes, part of the partnership there is we have an amazing ecosystem of strategy. We have a CTO,
Mm.
we've got marketing, but um, something in you as a founder has to find ways to just, okay, here's the vision, here's the direction, here's the intention. Let's all talk about it and make sure, do you have an idea? Do you have an idea? Basically collaborate, but also step back, let the builders build.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if you align your vision and your core values across the board and let them just build,
exactly.
because I had a guest, the episode is actually going to air next week. He runs a fitness studio and he's like community first,
Yeah.
then the fitness studio.
I think I know who it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Fitness Lab.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does an amazing job. He's in
And
my community.
yeah, it's just the way he talks about people, the way his business is run. He's always community first and
Mhm.
the product is afterwards, right? And see that in you so much where if you build the community first,
You're so right.
yeah,
Because I'm actually giving away the Excel spreadsheet that I used for free. They could use that and
yeah,
do fine with it. But it's almost like if the app suits you and it works for you, great.
right,
But this is what I wish I had when I
yeah,
was going through this and I was going through it alone.
right.
I wish I had somewhere I could go that would given me some, support, tools, resources, and just even that mindset boost.
And I think that's the one thing that I'm missing from, see, just to, resonate with me a little bit.
Hmm.
I'm building an app. The app is solving a problem.
Right?
The community around that, like building a community around taxes,
Yep.
doesn't really resonate with me. But building a community around like entrepreneurship and, journeys
Yep.
resonates with me.
Yes.
Tying them both together, I don't know if that aligns.
I hear you.
Right?
I have you considered the educational piece of Taxify as being the community binder where like you're almost telling people the ins and outs of like what's Taxify going to help me with and where taxes are concerned, but also you're kind of dribbling bits of education along the way.
I'm going the opposite way,
Mm,
where there's so much education out there already. Every situation's different.
mm-hmm,
So it has to align with the right person. And
mm,
it's more of a human conversation piece. I'm going hey, let me come on my app and then never think about taxes again
mm-hmm.
so that you can go do what you love to do, and that's run a business.
Yeah, see, that's great.
Yeah. So like I'm going the opposite way because I do think a portion of people to understand taxes, it's not just, hey, here's the tax code. It's complex and
Yeah,
your situation's different than my situation. It's very
yeah,
personalized, right?
yeah.
So yeah, I'm going the opposite way.
Because you're like, just turn it over to the app and
Yeah.
forget about it.
And forget
Yeah,
about it and then spend your energy and time making money and
yeah,
let the app kind of do
yeah.
itself.
I love that. That's great.
So from a community perspective, where do you stand? I already see like a book, a podcast, like I'm already like getting divorcees on here or co-parenting on here
Yeah.
and talking about their identity and journey. I mean,
Yeah.
holy moly, that'd be powerful.
Oh, that's so awesome to hear because, yes, all right. So, a podcast is in the works
Okay, good.
and it's really about bringing professionals on. So, I've already got a court coach, so someone who tries to keep people out of court
Nice.
and resolve things. I've got my pastor, my priest,
Nice.
another financial professional, and then just talking about, um, what it takes to go from that mindset to the new mindset and equipping people for success. Um, so the community is pretty well getting built as we speak. There's a bit of tech to it as
Hmm.
well, which is I've been stumbling on different tools. Like I'm sure you know, there's just you could have like 10 or 12 subscriptions to things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so ridiculous. So I found out about something called GHL, Go High Level, and it's everything all in one. And the community is in there. Um, Education, podcasts, video, basically everything. It links it all together. So that is under development with the website. I'm truly excited for this next 4 month runway to start building interest and just talking to people and finding out what they need. But mainly it's for that one person, like we say community, but it's like one person surrounded by their people who are all going through the same problem and challenge and are getting that low lift or light lift or heavier lift that just brings them up to a space of peace and organization and tranquility and good relationship. So, yeah.
What makes you nervous about building this?
Doing it all on my own.
Mm,
So, like I mentioned, starting it up, as a startup, you're bootstrapping, you're solopreneuring it, and you can tend to go into your own world a lot and try to do things and perfect things and not release them until they're perfect. And now I'm really taking that ethos and parking it. So, my biggest concern is okay, just put something out there. Once it's ready, people will tell you if it's helping them or not. But it's really mainly now going from solo to agency and then scaling. So that's really the next chapter. Um, I wouldn't say it's like, it's a concern. It's just getting that traction at this very point of it's just me. I'm building the community, doing a lot. Oh, how do I kind of organize myself so I don't deplete personally and get it done, and I guess that's the trial of every entrepreneur.
yeah, and I guess two secondary questions to that is how do you spend your weeks? And then if someone's wants to start out, has an idea, has a problem that they want to pursue as well. I mean, there's a financial aspect to it too.
Yeah.
How do you get around where you're even at right now?
Yeah. So for me, management consulting has been the piggy bank for
Okay.
Split. So I've self-funded it that way. Now that I've got the partnership, we've got the ecosystem that's going to help launch. So for someone starting out, I'd say first biggest thing, and it's the thing you're not going to want to do the most because you just think you've got a great idea and everybody's going to love it. It's like just go out and talk to a few people
Right.
in your circle or even go out to a Facebook group, do a quick poll, go to Reddit, just fish around and probe the voice around what you're offering and just before you go down any direction too quickly. And exactly what we're doing, like the fact that we landed in each other's network, I know this is probably the beginning of a wonderful entrepreneurial relationship and network that get into the entrepreneurial ecosystem, whether it's in Ottawa or anywhere else, and just talk to people. Don't be too afraid about sharing your idea because um, it's it sort of will limit you from what I've experienced is an extreme generosity in Ottawa of the entrepreneurial community. Like I've talked to so many different people who are ahead of me and will be like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Have you thought about doing this?" And I've just absorbed those ideas and plugged them in to the journey along the way. So I just say validate your idea, um, get out there, in network. It's really important, especially as a woman. Like we don't tend to do that as much. I
Mm.
think I could be wrong, but um, you really have to get out there and talk to people who are doing it or have done it. And um, even in our city, we do have some great funding mechanisms that to explore. But yeah, I'd say that's the number one thing. Don't be too recluse with your idea. Try to get it out there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think there's a lot of people, lawyers, and other people are, keep everything tight and niched and don't tell this person about that person and the scarcity around it.
Yeah.
Where I think as an entrepreneur, the more open you are, the more feedback you get, and the
Yes.
more, you know, learning you get to then keep on building and
Exactly.
keep on building what the customer is looking for, not is essentially what you
Exactly.
are. So,
Exactly. Like going
and it's
back,
just conversations.
it's just conversations.
Yeah.
So just going back to the grocery store, like when people would come into the store, um, hey boss, how's it going? Have a conversation. They'd look for something, we didn't have it. Dad would literally go get it the next day
Right.
and bring it in. So that starts to like that's just simply serving people's needs.
Right.
And that's honestly the integrity I think of being an entrepreneur is like you're not doing this to get ridiculously rich. You're
Right.
not doing this to sure it's a byproduct, but if you're getting rich out of it, it's the signal that you're now equipped to better serve and
Yeah.
even better serve, just like you've done,
Yeah.
right? Like so you're going into a new idea.
Yeah.
And so when you're given the ability to build and deliver and scale, that's what I think entrepreneurship is. Like that's an amazing gift to be able to offer impact to people.
I love that so much. And, your dad built trust with every client that came in. And I think the online ecosystem, it's, I don't it's harder. I mean, it's not that direct human psychology around touching, feeling, and building the trust to go get that person the fruit and bring it back to them and building the connection that way. That all these so many people are online not knowing where to turn for all the specific problems. Is like, how do
Totally.
you meet them at where you can build trust so that they trust you? Everyone sees that 1% of the influencers that go viral and build the trust that way, but they don't see all the individuals like us who are building so many different relationships to get to be able to service more people. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
And like if you there's a book called They Ask, You Answer, and it's literally that principle
Mm,
of like give them the value before they've come to your storefront
yeah.
and and give them everything they would need without you.
Yeah.
And then build that trust not with the objective of hey drop a something in the
Yeah.
DM and I'll send you this. Like it is a turn off, David,
Yeah.
honestly. I think having being overcoming that social media, there's a lot of noise out there,
Yeah.
and it's like you just said, how do you connect with your ideal customer? How do you connect with the person who needs your help?
Yeah.
I think you're doing it here. I think that's leadership because people can go directly to you. I think it's for someone like me, it's very hard to go, on camera
Yeah.
and do the
No,
thing.
for sure.
But then you suddenly realize, no, it's not about me. It's actually about the problem I'm solving. And I'm just a medium. I'm just the helper to get people there.
Right.
So again, servitude, back to what are your God given talents
Yeah.
that you are blessed to be able to serve with, that you're helping someone else to better themselves with or get something they need to help with the problem.
And it's funny because when I started the social media journey, that was the exact thing that was in my mind was like, if entrepreneurship did this for me, why can't it do for other people? And if I can just give away all my information, so what?
Yes, exactly.
Just give it away.
Yes.
And that's what but at the same time, it, it's so difficult because what's in my mind to be able to communicate it on now social media I'll give you an example. A year ago, I started on TikTok.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm doing 3 videos a day, every day, and I'm just giving away information. The lighting, the screen, the communication, you have to get your message off in a minute. Like your eye, like
Right.
everything was is going wrong. And the cringiness of the video,
Exactly.
I couldn't even watch. I didn't even see the value of it because the presentation wasn't there,
It felt
right?
unnatural.
It felt so unnatural.
Yeah.
Where even if you have an idea and you want to give away all the information, you want to do that, you still, it takes so many reps to be able to communicate
Yeah.
effectively to now people and meet them where they're at. Your dad met this person where they're at, where they needed something, and he went to go get it.
Right.
Online, you can't, you have to meet them where they're at and be able to present it the way that resonates with them. And it might not resonate with everyone else, and you got to be okay with it.
Right.
All in all, is you got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to
Like,
test it.
back to the networking, even on social media, even building trust, like you won't build trust tomorrow. It's takes 30 years, 40 years to be a presence to really get it. So
Yeah.
I can see how people are turned off by it, but I promise you, going through this experience,
Yeah.
that it's so worth it. I got a DM yesterday from a creator in Vancouver being like, I watch all your stuff.
Oh, that's
You're,
nice.
it's helped me in this way and that way. And people don't see that.
Exactly.
You see all the comments of like, you're fake, you're this, you're that. Like, what are you doing? All the other stuff, which doesn't bug me, but
Yeah.
it's that one person. So going back to you,
Exactly.
and going back to your purpose,
Yeah.
because now your purpose has shifted, right?
Yeah.
Your purpose is not about you
Right.
anymore.
Right.
It's about a bigger thing. And that helps in everything in life because it breaks down barriers to
So true.
do things that you wouldn't do because your purpose is bigger than you.
Well, and back to you. So, does your North Star, what ended up happening with the TikToks? Like, did you get through it? And then do you still do that? Or did you just choose a different medium? But is what got you through that just knowing your North Star?
Oh, that's a really good question. In regards to the practical of TikTok, um, I'm still actively going through 3 videos a day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, presentations getting way better. I'm getting way more comfortable. So I'm in it for the long run and the marathon. So
Yeah.
that's continuing to go.
Yeah.
In regards to the North Star, and that this is a big thing, is your identity does shift through everything. And when
Mm-hmm.
you talk about your divorce,
Mm-hmm.
I what resonated with me is when I sold my business. My identity for 10 years was in Volta,
Mm-hmm.
which was an accounting firm. I switched that identity after to an entrepreneur, right? Telling people I'm an entrepreneur versus telling people I'm an accounting owner.
Right.
Even that mind shift is a small identity shift
Right.
that now an entrepreneur does real estate, podcasting, tech company, like does more. It's a bigger identity
Right.
than that one business owner,
Yes.
right? So I think there's small identity shifts
Yeah.
throughout your life. Um, and I think the bigger the North Star is, the bigger the, I don't want to say the bigger the identity, but the less vulnerable your identity is because your star is bigger.
That's so true.
Does that make
A
sense?
million percent.
Because I don't know how to communicate it. I feel it, but
Yeah.
I've never really communicated it that way.
Yeah, well, it's such a great analogy because you probably didn't foresee being an entrepreneur after your first business.
Right.
Yeah, so you probably were like, "Oh, I'm going to run this for the rest of my life.
Yep.
This is it." So some identity shifts are put upon us,
Yeah.
and then it just sort of has us go into that self-inquisition
Yeah.
space like, "Okay, so what's next for me? And who am I in my next
Yeah.
chapter and who am I serving in my next chapter?" But I love what you said about the identity or the North Star being so big because that gives you creative space and that gives you like that creative license to say, um, yeah, like see, my identity is in Christ. Okay,
Yes.
that's
Right.
who my identity is.
Right.
At the same time, I'm constantly asking myself as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, who, what is my service orientation next? Who am I going to serve? And I do it all with that line to the
Yeah.
top. So some people's identity is in something else, and that's what works for them. But I find when you do have whatever that anchoring orienting
Yeah.
north star is, it somehow just fixes you to, okay, I know what I need to do
Yes.
next. I'm going to try it this way. Let's see how it goes. And that's what entrepreneurship is testing, creating, testing, building, retesting, retrying, and doing it all over again, you know.
And going back to your faith, it's like once you have an identity that big, then you know your North Star, right? And I
Yeah.
think instilling this in the younger generation, because I think believing in a lot of people believing in a lot of different things now.
Mhm.
Believe in something that's bigger than you,
Yep.
whatever that is.
Yep.
If it is Christianity, if it is whatever it is, I think having a North Star and because a lot of times when the pain is so big, I
Mhm.
always think like God wouldn't put me in the situation if he knew I couldn't handle it.
That's so
Right.
true.
And
Yeah.
then the anxiety goes away and the nervousness goes away. Right.
That's
So,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, that North Star
Yeah. Yeah.
is huge.
And it's a practice, believe me. Like I'm
Yeah.
yes, I'm tied there, but it is. Some people will meditate, some people will read their Bible, some people will listen to the Bible, some people will listen to meditations. Like so, it's whatever really grounds you. I think we're all on the same journey. But yeah, that identity formation and reformulation is truly a big part of what underpins the spirit and the why behind the app. It's like,
Mm,
no, I'm not going to be tied in chaos for the rest of my child's life here. I
mm,
need it to be organized, structured.
mm.
So, yeah. And then, as you said, part of the community and
Now, are you
yeah.
taking this across Canada, US? What's the vision
Well,
geographically?
we're starting in North America. Ideally, like to go eastward and more global. So my partners are actually situated in Dubai,
Okay.
and one of them is in the U.S. So we've got that footprint where we can go a little more eastward because there are different needs actually in the east as well.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the hope about starting out North America.
Yeah, do you find from your research thus far, like culturally, it's different in different areas? Like,
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
how do you service that?
So it's interesting because I'm Lebanese, like I said, my other partners are Pakistani, and maybe it's global, maybe not, but typically, like when it comes to child support or when it comes to the man paying the woman, like their thing is, well, she's spending it on herself. She went and bought a Louis Vuitton with the money I gave for the kids or whatever it is.
Mm,
So that's not uncommon in the East as well. So the idea is, to adapt to some of the cultural needs out there. Maybe it's a wallet, maybe it's I don't know, contribution that's tied to the bank. But I have to say there's a shared global problem of a lack of transparency and visibility on, you know, shared expenses for the kids, what's coming up, what's being planned together so they can um not be kind of surprised or blindsided. Um But yeah, I think there are some unique needs in the eastern part of the world, made mainly some of the more Middle Eastern cultures. And like there's like you started off talking about in the podcast, like there are some cultures that are way more averse to divorce than others. Like
mm,
it's sort of a shameful thing or
mm.
whatnot. Um, so yeah, just honestly try to normalize some of this as like, hey, okay, it happened. Let's try to make the best of it, and most of all, make the best of it for the kids and their future.
Right. And is your first customer, is it typically the woman, the male?
Good question. Like, I mean, you know, it's really varied now. Like the stats are that finances is still one of the top three reasons for divorce. Like if it didn't work during the divorce, it's sure to not work after the divorce. I think. It's pretty evenly split. Like I think we will um like at the end of the day, we're going to try to incite and um create incentives for both parents to be on
Mhm.
the app. Um but yeah, I think it's pretty equalized as far as who would be needing to use it. It's mainly the confrontational side of things
Right.
that we're navigating with the app so that it can
Here's a strategy for you.
mm,
If you can get a law passed in the court system that they have to use it.
it's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in the States, the courts mandate that they use one of these two apps, Our Family Wizard, or
Okay.
I don't remember what the name of the other one is. But the thing that would be amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when it's super high conflict, it's usually all sorts of things. Rarely is it just the money. Like it's always somehow tied into custody or, staying at this person's house or staying at that person's house. I would love, even before it gets to the courts, where if you've got a team, usually we just have the lawyer, okay? But in an ideal world, you've got a financial coach in there who's helping each person
Mhm.
navigate it, um, equalize all the things that need to be equalized before the divorce. But yes, hey, start them out on this path right away. I don't know if that could be mandated. That would be amazing. That's definitely something we're looking at. Um, but certainly, because it's a behavior shift, you can mandate it, and there's not much enforcement anyway. So it would be nice to incentivize it versus mandated as well, like, or a combination of the two, just so,
Yeah.
it gets started off on the right foot. Imagine if your lawyer just handed you this and said, "Hey, listen, and even actually to be, while the separation process is going on, Simple Split can help because everything is captured there. It's a report that can be delivered straight to the lawyer."
Yeah, and I understand what you're going for of
Mhm.
like trying to or making it a positive experience,
Yeah.
but maybe a negative and a negative
Yeah.
could be a
Force.
positive,
Yes.
force a positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you just have to tell them
Because
to do it.
if they're like already arguing or it's just not amicable,
Yeah. They'll never even get to the
they'll
conversation.
never you're 50 layers to a potential solution.
1,000,000%.
That if it's yeah,
Yeah,
anyways.
100%. No, you're right there on the money because that
Because then if you mandate it, yes, it's a negative that needs to happen, but the positive of that is the kid,
yes, exactly.
right? Because
Exactly.
then they get the benefit versus no one having the benefit.
100%. And you're right. Sometimes it's just that the courts have to do this because
Yeah.
the parents are it's too conflict ridden.
And then they can track the allocation payments and all the other stuff
Yeah.
within it.
Yeah. The part that excites me most is that the kid would get that financial autonomy
100%.
and literacy. And it's
100%.
like, oh my gosh, because you could talk to anyone in probably your demographic, my demographic, that's been through divorce. Oh, my parents argued about money all the time. It
100%.
was hell,
Yeah.
So you don't want the kid to feel like they're in between that.
Yeah.
And even if you don't say something, they feel the tension.
Yeah. Yeah, and one parent might be more financially savvy than the other and
Yes,
the role, right?
exactly.
Where the other one, yeah, couldn't do it for whatever is just not their skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, great idea though. We're
That's a
definitely pursuing.
it's a fun, it's a fun problem to solve because it's really impactful.
Oh,
So in regards to that, what else? What else is going on? Is there you talk about your consulting business a little bit?
yeah. Well, I spent most of my career in government actually, being in Ottawa. So grew up there and was in executive management for a while, and started consulting, doing management consulting, like mainly for government, but also outside. And then more recently, like just the last 2 years, I've been teaching AI.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, Like, I'm the biggest advocate for it.
Okay.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I don't know if you're using it.
Oh my God, it's my whole business is going to be AI driven.
Oh my god,
So
exactly.
what do you what's the education around it?
Mainly corporations in North America, teaching them because it's corporate America, they're mostly on Microsoft, so mainly Copilot,
Hmm.
which has its advantages because it's like embedded right in there. But I also do like the consulting I do is honestly like transposes directly to Simple Split. So I get to benefit all the skills I've built up there. So like monitoring success, measurement, measuring performance, impact. And so the AI though it's been fun. I've really been enjoying doing that. My wish and my goal is to be able to shift full time fully to Simple Split. So with that, we're going to a couple conferences where there are some investors and just a great ecosystem of startup founders. Again, just for networking. Probably be out in Vancouver in May and building the app. Like, this is truly the funnest part. It's so fun. Like, both of my partners are divorced and they both get it. And while our CTO isn't, he's just as excited to build this because he sees, like, similar to what you mentioned earlier, the other applications in other industries that just make transparency, tracking, um, organization much easier. So yeah, going to hopefully come back
And
and show you the app. Mhm.
the consulting is that the full-time thing right now?
Pretty much, yeah,
And then
yeah.
when do you like evenings, weekends, or when are you planning to transition full-time?
I basically like my routine is wake up, work on Simple Split,
Okay.
get into management consulting. Once that's done, get back into Simple Split. So it's honestly on the fringes of my day and then fully in the weekend. And then on holidays, like I totally sprinted over the holidays
Okay.
just because it's fun. Like I don't
Yeah.
find it to be work.
All right.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I feel completely the same.
I just love it. It's
Uh, ex-
creation.
Except when the money just keeps on flying everywhere. Like, you know, that's a little scary because the tech game you're building. I mean, not too many people talk about this. And I understand why people don't build tech. It's you're building the house before anyone's living in it,
Oh, yeah.
and the house is a guarantee. Kind of someone has to live in it, so you're going to be collecting rent and do all that stuff. So it's good. That's what we're programmed to think.
Yeah.
But when you're building an app, like then you have to also think of okay, managing well, you have partners, but managing the partnership, let's just say, managing the developers, marketing, like there's so
So
much
much.
that goes into getting it off the ground.
Oh yeah. And no, yeah, you're right. That's really the under the surface, the behind the curtain work, and nobody sees that. By the way, with the AI, like I've been using Replit and Lovable to
Okay.
build Simple Split on the side, like
Yeah.
myself. So it would shorten the conversation with the CTO.
Mm,
And I've done that also with
smart.
Modus AI. I built the website and
Okay.
sent it to the web developer. So like yeah, there's always something to do, but again, I don't know what it is, David. Maybe that's the entrepreneurial spirit is like you just love the idea of taking something from a vision
Yeah.
and making it real. And whether it goes or it doesn't, yes, there's some money that comes along in the way, but you're willing to take that risk where maybe other people aren't. And you because you really believe in that vision. And you say to yourself, okay, if it goes, great. If it didn't, I really
Learned.
loved that whole journey
Right.
trying. Like,
And the AI journey, I'm doing the same thing as what you just mentioned, where okay, a human still needs to build the website in my mind right now.
mm-hmm.
The AI is not there yet to click it and go.
Mm,
The AI is not there to go into Lovable, Replit, and create the simple split
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
But it eliminates 80% of the back and forth with that
Totally.
web designer
Oh yeah.
or that website person to have a template of this is my vision.
Yeah.
Now get it to the 100%.
Yeah. Oh,
Do your job. Like that's now
yes.
and instead of a website taking 3, 4 months, it's taking me a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? Like because I get to play around with the apps out there to really see what connects with me.
Honestly,
It
exactly.
yeah.
So it's almost like the founder's journey and your own vision.
Yeah.
But like you're so
Yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah, like and then you can play with your vision and
Yeah.
that and bring it to that point. Exactly. I just can't I don't know. I experienced the exact same thing as you did, going back and forth with the developers and building something to a point, taking forever just because it's like a few hours a day here and there. And then now you fast forward to lovable Replit. It's really remarkable. Like I just can't believe what it's
Mhm.
doing. It works. Like
Yeah.
it as a low fidelity,
Yeah.
good
Right.
prototype, it works and it saves a lot of time and it's exciting. Yeah, I love.
And it's funny because even when we do user requirements, I now went into ChatGPT. I'm like, create
Yeah.
a UI for what I'm looking for, gave it to the developers. The developers went on Cursor and developed.
I know.
Like it was
It's
like
crazy
within
for
that cycle
for
for,
$30 a
yeah,
month, $20 a month.
Cursor or
Well,
level.
oh, Cursor I haven't used yet, but GPT 20,
Yeah,
Claude will do a great job too.
right. Yeah, it's making it a lot more accessible to get the right information to the right people so that they can build.
Yeah, 100%. And like we're always told rapid iteration, don't
Right.
sit on it too long and so on. And just now it's like anybody can do this. If they have an idea, they can test it out. Anyone can do it.
When will your app be launched?
I'm hoping April 2026.
Okay.
So if we're lucky, a little bit earlier, but we're putting all the seeds in place to get this launched and tested and used. Offering free tiers, like for people who, like I said, when you go through divorce, it's expensive and you don't always have a lot of extra money lying around. So we'll make it accessible to everyone.
Will it be web-based or through an app?
Good question. So, original prototype that I built solo is web based and also interfaces with WhatsApp and SMS.
Mm.
You can basically upload receipts from there. This one's going to be a mobile app, but we'll also continue to have those other interfaces. If you want to log in on the web, you can. But yeah, so
And launched in North
yeah,
America?
yeah, yeah.
Nice. Well, I do anything else I missed before I go into the lightning round?
Oh, I don't think so. Great conversation. Thanks for the opportunity and
S-
great chat.
So, in regards to what makes a conversation crucial in your view?
Helping someone who needs it. Like, so we've talked about entrepreneurship, but we've also spoken to an audience who might have gone through or going through divorce. And nobody's going through divorce going, hey, I love this. This is great. So if this conversation can be a stepping stone or even help anyone in either of those two groups, then that would be a blessing for sure.
What do you create? What do you do to create psycho psychological
Psychological safety.
safety fast with a group?
Oh, um, so in my management consulting work, that's what I do. I do facilitation and I basically do two things. One, show them who you are as quickly as you can so they don't have to guess. And two, diffuse um, the room with asking about the other people and what's going on for them. So basically, always turning it over 80% to them, 20% to me. So
I
this,
think this is one of the most important things in business
mhm,
is when you build a team, is the team honest with you? Because are they giving you the right feedback or are they just saying yes
yeah,
because they're scared to
yeah.
say anything?
You know, I learned all that in government
Yeah.
because I was a manager very young. And I learned that if you're not giving them autonomy to just do them and just be there for them to come back to you, just like parenthood, honestly, in so many ways, just being the guardrail, um, that it could, yeah, it just, that to me is the stepping stone is giving people the space to do that, what they do well, and just being there as a support and a guide.
And it's funny because we did our first iteration of the app. I brought in my team. They did it. They ripped it apart
Oh, yeah.
and I loved it.
Oh, see, I love that.
And I actually did a TikTok about it and then went semi-viral because if they didn't do that, that problem would have got pushed another 3 months to when the users see it. It would have been fixed, but it wouldn't have been fixed now. It might have been fixed in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
Tell me what is going on and be okay with it.
So whatever you did before you handed that
Yeah.
over, they felt they had license to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I that's one of my actually strengths as running a business is I really involve. It's tough though, because the flip side of it is getting too much collaboration, slow, like potentially. There's a point where you have to make a decision,
Mhm.
and too much feedback is you can't make everyone happy. Like when you
Yeah.
have like 10, like your leadership team starts getting bigger and bigger,
Yeah.
where everyone has a different viewpoint,
Yeah.
where they're giving you feedback, but you might not agree with it, and you still have to eventually make a decision.
And what do you find helps with that? Like almost wrapping time around something or like opening the door for people to come to you if they're not 100% aligned with the direction or the decision?
Very good question. Two things. One main thing, we do an after action review.
Oh,
So after every month, we sit down, what worked well, what didn't work well,
yeah.
and what are we going to improve on.
Perfect. Yes.
So then the collaboration happens, so they get the voice,
Yeah.
and then we keep on improving on
Yeah,
it.
I love that. Yeah, we do that too.
Do you?
That's great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a military thing that I leveraged. And I mean, a before action review is trying to be proactive around it. And then an after action review takes the information of that month or that week. And then it's that collaboration to get to that end result.
So good. I didn't know that was a military thing.
Yeah, like before or after every deployment, they would do an after action review based on their performance for the generals. But a before action review would be like, okay, what might happen? Well, like there's different questions you ask to prevent an issue from happening in the field.
Mm.
Like, what happens if the helicopter goes down? What everyone in this room, what are we gonna do? Like, nail down the different scenarios so everyone's aligned. So when they go to battle, they know what's going on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the fastest way to get a team from AI anxiety to AI confidence?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're asking this. So I'll tell you how I do it. I put a picture up of my son when he was 5 and got on skis with no poles, and I was standing at the top of the hill, and you can see him about 20 yards away. And I took a picture, and in that moment, I was thinking, "Oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I not going to look like an idiot in front of my son and not be like races behind him?" So fast forward to teaching AI. What I tell the group is I went and got a coach on the hill. It was here at Pakenham.
Mm,
And it just so happened he grew up his entire family on the hill. And he was a retired judge. And he knew I was terrified. And I skied, but I never had lessons. And
mm,
just if you've never had
yeah,
lessons, you don't know what you're doing.
yeah.
So we're going up on the lift. And he said, by the time yeah, you finish this hour with me, you're going to be able to ski any hill in the world. So when I teach AI, I tell them by the time you finish this hour with me, you're going to be able to use any AI tool in the world. You're going to go from zero to hero in an hour because you're going to learn the foundations of what it takes to talk to AI to get what you need out of it.
Mm,
Just like I did when I was skiing, he taught me the physics of like leaning forward in the boot. I had no idea.
mm.
Like I only snow plowed to brake the entire time I was skiing. I could finally brake, normally. And so with AI, it's really the same. It's honestly about just an open and curious mindset. Because if you're going into it going, oh, AI is going to take my job, or
Mm,
why do I have to do this? Everybody's, it's going to be the next fad or whatever. If you can go into it with a mindset of, okay, here's how it can help me in my specific role. Like even uh, picture that I showed. Did I show you the wall that I did, the accent wall in
yeah.
my room? My construction guy, he pre-showed it on AI what it's
Mm,
going to look like after. So anyone can use this. It's sort of about being open-minded enough to see where the value is for you specifically.
mm, amazing.
Yeah.
What is your default first use case when an enterprise says they want AI?
Oh, good question. Um, Default first use case is pretty well kind of approach it me. So where can it benefit me first? We in the team and then us as an organization. So at the immediate level, it's really like, if I'm talking to executives, it's all right, your CFO has just asked you for a report to the board and he needs it the next morning. Normally, this would take you 6 hours. I'm going to show you how to do it in 20 minutes with all of the apps and Copilot, for example. So it's mostly like immediate things that you need in your day to day where it's going to shave off the administrative headache. So if you could stroke a magic wand and give it to a personal assistant, what would you want to do? Reading emails, summarizing emails, responding to emails, just all that stuff we still do on a day to day basis. Um, so yeah, I'd say like where can the heavy lift be done for you at your own desk?
So, a quick this or that, curiosity or certainty,
Curiosity.
pilots or big bets,
Oh, hmm. Pilots.
prototype first or policy first,
Prototype. 100%.
metrics or stories,
Stories.
framework or intuition,
Hmm. Intuition.
transparency or privacy,
Well, transparency, I guess.
build in public or build quietly,
Build in public.
speed or depth.
Depth.
So, we have a closing tradition, a closing question in this podcast. If you left a sticky note on your first laptop before you ever got started, what would it say?
Oh, that's such a nice question. Keep going. Don't stop. Yeah.
Nancy, thank you so much for coming on,
Thank you.
being authentic, sharing your journey. I really appreciate just the honesty and like the why. That's what I got from this conversation. Like your faith and how you've built your purpose, it definitely resonates with me. Um, I can't wait to see what the app does in the future and your community. I think the more you put yourself out there, the more you'll touch more people. I do really do think that you're meeting people where they probably don't want to be met, and I think you can definitely be a voice of comfort for them.
Wow, thank you. That's so touching. I feel the same way about you and I'm excited to see your journey and so glad we met. Thank you for
And
helping me.
I appreciate your support. Obviously, where would people find you? What's the best way to
Yep.
get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can reach out to anyone on the Simple Split team, a team at simplesplit.co, not .com. And we're on Instagram at Simple Split, um, website simplesplit.co, and we'll be launching community soon, hopefully by March.
And how about your LinkedIn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is Nancy Gharib. Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone wants to contact you directly there, is that good?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Nancy.
Thanks, David.